Hi, I'm Dillon, CEO of the Dillon Group, Inc. Today we're going to talk about how we can increase our personal productivity and effectiveness using a process that was outlined in a Harvard Business Review article by Julian, Birkinshaw, and Cohen. Now, this was published back in September of 2013. What is the one thing that everybody wants but can't get? I'll tell you what my one thing is: more hours in the day. Time is the one thing that we could all use more of, and it's one of our most precious resources. So just think about how much you'd accomplish if you could add, say, 20% more time to your day. Unfortunately, that's not quite possible yet. But you can free up a big chunk of the time that you do have by eliminating or delegating unimportant tasks. And it turns out that we waste a lot of time on low-value activities. Research shows that knowledge workers spend about 41% of their time on low-value and often tedious tasks that could be handled by other people. Why does this happen? There's two primary reasons. First, we all get entangled in commitments that are hard to get out of. This is true even for the most dedicated high performers. And that's because we worry about letting down our colleagues if we stop doing certain tasks. We want to look busy and productive and to feel needed and important. And though meetings are often seen as a waste of time, they give us a chance to connect with our coworkers. Second, organizations also share some of the blame for the excessive focus on low-value activities. To control costs, companies keep asking their workers to do more with less. And many employees have had to take on tasks outside their core work, like arranging for their own travel. And in a tight regulatory environment, risk-averse companies often discourage senior people from handing off work to less seasoned colleagues, because if a mistake gets made, it could be very, very costly. But it doesn't have to be that way. People can make time for the work that matters if they think deliberately about how they spend their time and decide which tasks matter most and drop or offload the rest. And that's what these Harvard Business Review authors found in an experiment with 15 executives. Granted, the law of small numbers will probably kick in here, but it gives us some pretty decent insights. We'll talk more about the findings throughout the presentation, but the bottom line was this. On average, these executives cut their weekly desk work by 6 hours and their meetings by 2 hours. Basically, they freed up one full day a week, and they achieved this without making a huge effort and without any management directive. So let's take a look at how this worked for one participant in the experiment, and this was an insurance company manager named Lotta. Now, she quickly identified several meetings and routine administration tasks that she could drop, and that allowed her to devote more time to working directly with her reports by listening in on their sales calls, giving them guidance one-on-one, and thinking up improvement strategies with them. The payoff was clear. In just 3 weeks, sales in her unit increased 5%. So the low-value activities that she looked at, meetings and administrative tasks, and the high-value activities were the things of listening in on the sales call, the one-on-one coaching, and brainstorming improvements, getting buy-in from the front line. Now, what you want to do is you want to free time up in your schedule, as Lotta did. So what you need to do is you need to look at your day and identify tasks that are both unimportant and easy to offload. Research suggests that at least 1/4 of knowledge workers' activities fall into both of those categories. So you want to find those 25% of activities that are unimportant and easy to drop or to delegate. The only way you're going to do that is if you keep track of what you do and how you spend your time every day. So key to this is start recording what you do in at least 15-minute increments or less. I do mine in 5-minute increments. And I use a system that allows me to get a report on where I spend my time. And I can go back and look, are these high-value activities, income-producing activities, or are these low-value activities that are a cost that somebody else could do at least 80% as good as I can? Now, some companies try to help their people eliminate tasks through initiatives like banning email on Fridays or placing time limits on meetings. But it's really hard to change the institutional norms, and workers who don't buy in will find creative ways to resist. So making changes on a personal level is often much more effective. So how can you set up your own self-intervention? By following this 5-step process. First, identify your low-value tasks. Second, decide whether to drop, delegate, or redesign them. Third, offload tasks. Fourth, allocate your freed up time. And number 5, commit to your plan. Now, in the next modules, we're going to go into greater detail in each of these 5 steps.
Optimal human experience.